Last time on the Great Ace Attorney 2.
Closely at the bloodstain on the victim's chest.
Oh no!
What?
No, I've got it! Oh my god!
Whoa.
The orientation! Look, the way the blood's flowed, it's gone down.
Oh!
He was stood
If he was
upright.
upside down,
He was upright.
It clearly extends in a downwards direction towards the man's feet.
I'm
well
bouncing.
done.
You can't see it, but I'm bouncing.
Yeah, Pete is very happy right now.
Have you been taking me for a fool?
Well, I wasn't taking you to dinner.
It was you, was it?
No.
It's like,
Got him! You hoped that by admitting to being an accomplice in Mr. Drebber's scheme, the trial would end before you were accused of a far worse crime.
Sadly, your logic has a gaping hole in it.
Much
Much like Mr.
Odie
Asmus.
Asman.
What possible reason would I have to kill Mr. Asman?
Yes, we saw it.
Did we?
yesterday.
We did.
Oh, crap.
So wait, so that was like a week or so ago? A couple of weeks?
We saw it yesterday, didn't we?
Time is so relative.
Something that seemed strange, but we had no reason to suspect at the time.
There was a really high number of scalpels in her ledger.
That is a good, well remembered,
I
Sarah.
don't know.
Wow,
It's
that's-
probably a red herring. I don't know.
Sarah, are you serious?
It's a scalpel, or rather, scalpels.
Oh, that got her.
No.
Well done, Sarah.
Oh my god, I remember something.
Sarah had the banana taken from her earlier on, but she comes back triumphant, holding an entire bushel.
I was gonna say, yeah,
Hell yeah.
Sarah, she's like Rambo. She's got like, instead of like the ammunition, it's just like banana straps. Like, she's got the utility belt of bananas, and you know what I mean? She's ready.
I don't know what happened on the night of that execution 10 years ago, but clearly the opportunity to rid yourself of that menace was too tempting to pass up. So in the end, you weren't coerced at all. You did it entirely of your own free will.
Right now, if I had that research grant money, I'd give the whole lot to you.
We don't need any financial reward.
Susato!
We can't eat gratitude, can we?
I'll pay you an exposure.
I must explore the great exhibition whilst I'm here, too. No sightseeing, Albert.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Disillusion Plays The Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve, where we play the games and do the voices.
Yeah.
I'm Taylor.
I'm Pete.
And I'm Sarah.
Nice. And then, just before we do hop on in, if you do like what we do, why don't you give us a like, hit the subscribe button, and then ring the bell to receive notifications about when we post future content.
Yeah.
And now, it's time to find out what old Van Zeeks has to say to our dear friend Ryunosuke.
He's going to give him a single pat on the head and tell him he did a good job.
Good boy.
Here's your gold star.
Would you like a biscuit?
Would you like a biscuit?
Now go on, fetch.
Oh,
Get out of my sight before I
Oh.
change my mind.
that's mean.
All right.
You're right.
Yeah, I'm just getting into character. You nipponese.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Let's find out what he has to say.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. I don't like that.
Oh, this is very
They left it
formal.
in
Well,
there.
I was expecting them to take this out, but I guess Madame Tussauds will be leaving it here.
Shh.
So, are you satisfied? You saved a guileless scientist from a great injustice.
Yes, I think so.
You don't have to speak like a hare caught in headlights, you fool. A deer
I'm
caught in-
relieved, at least, that the man's innocence could be proven.
No thanks to you.
Anyway, I imagine you've been wondering where my animosity towards you Nipponese comes from.
I mean, yes, it has been a little grating.
Well, it has crossed my mind once or twice. Yes.
Does this mean that I'll have to stop saying it in that way? I'll finally
Maybe.
be able to stop saying it like that.
Oof.
Ouch.
Well, at first I thought you just didn't like me.
I mean,
I imagined you saw me as a pretentious child from an unimportant land who had no business being here. But now I think differently.
No, you got the gist of it.
Well,
I mean, you got it in one, pretty much.
I mean, yep, there it is.
Come on, Van Zeeks, redeem yourself. Don't say you don't agree with him.
You clearly know our ways. So I would guess that some specific incident led to your thorough dislike of my race. Will you tell me what happened, please?
It all began 50 years ago.
50?
When I had just been born. And one of the nurses...
No, his canon event is the eating of his Terry's chocolate orange. We already decided this.
If I must. The Professor. The Professor. I thought I'd never hear that name in this courtroom again, to be honest.
He took your brother's life.
Clint, my brother, was Clint Van Zeeks. 16 years ago, when I was still just in my teens, he was already the director of prosecutions and a key member of the judiciary. I just can't say it.
Judiciary.
Yeah, I know. I looked up to him. He was everything I aspired to be. He was involved in the establishment of justice systems in foreign countries as well. There were exchange programs between Britain and other nations then, too, to share knowledge and ideas. As part of one of those programs, 3 judicial students came to Japan from your homeland.
Great to Britain.
Did I say? It's because I'm reading ahead.
All the way around.
I'm sorry.
Don't read ahead.
3 judicial students came to Britain from your homeland, the Empire
now,
of Japan.
do we think that it's either Susato's dad or the judge who is the Japanese individual that has wronged him so?
I don't know. I mean, I know you were saying, because obviously there was the talk of them having relations in the past, wasn't there? There was something about them. I am not sure.
Oh. Could be one of them, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh! If it was 16 years ago, then one of them could have been my father.
If only we'd
If
advanced
only
the text.
we'd advanced the text.
Of course. I remember Dr. Mikotoba well.
I had no idea.
Well, of course you wouldn't. Why would you?
Of course, yes, because, like, literally she was born and off he went.
Yeah.
That was, yeah.
Yep.
I was a minor at the time, training at the prosecutor's office. One
When I
day,
wasn't getting cold.
Clint introduced me to the 3 visiting Nipponese.
So, you've actually met my father.
He and his colleagues were polite and amicable. They were adept at their work and exacting in their standards. It was my first encounter with the Nipponese spirit, and it made a very great impression upon me. Until now, of course. But 6 years later, that's when it happened. The investigation was going nowhere. There were no suspects even, just an ever-growing list of victims. And in the end, my brother became one of them. The last, in fact, before the case was finally resolved.
I'm so sorry, Lord Van Zeeks. Truly.
Clint was always ready to put his life on the line for justice anyway. So he wouldn't have wanted it any other way. He lost his life to the killer. But it was his victory in the end. For me personally, though, it was a great loss. I found myself in a very dark place indeed. I always wished my parents would let me out of that cupboard, but they wouldn't.
Stop ruining the
I'm sorry. When I finally found out the killer's identity, I became the Reaper, and I swore a vendetta.
Yes.
The reason why no one had been able to catch the man sooner ceased to be a mystery. He'd been hiding in plain sight all the time.
In plain sight?
Are you aware of political events 10 years ago?
Well, I was 6, so not really. 7.
It was a period of extremely sensitive diplomacy between the British and Japanese empires.
A new treaty was being forged, I think.
Correct. The Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation was being concluded. The leaders of both countries were deep in extensive political discussions. Which is why this particular killer's appearance in court was conducted as a closed trial. If the British public had known the identity of the killer, not only would the treaty have been in jeopardy, our two nations could very well have ended up at war.
Yeesh.
What? A war? Between Britain and Japan?
That is what I just said, yes.
Yeesh. That would mean... Oh my! You mean to say the professor was...
Where's he? When the trial reached its conclusion earlier, I thought to myself, yes, it's time.
Oh.
Time for you to come face to face with this hideous monster. I borrowed the key for the mask from the proprietress of the Waxwork Museum. So see for yourselves now. Confirm it with your own eyes. The truth that's been hidden this past decade.
Oh God, who's it gonna be?
Who's it gonna be?
That's the professor.
Yes, that's him.
Until now, the thought never even crossed my mind. The mass murderer whose crime shook Britain as never before was Japanese.
Oh.
I'm gonna be honest, that was less of a... I mean, I expected that, but I thought we were gonna recognize the face.
Yeah, I did. Wait a minute. That face.
Oh, Susato might know.
I feel as though I've seen it somewhere. It's strangely familiar.
Wait a minute.
Oh.
Oh, the amnesia.
Oh God, screaming.
Are you quite all right? No, I just stubbed my toe. I'm sorry. Whoop.
Oh. Oh.
Oh!
Oh! Oh! Oh no! The view is on the wrong one! Oh!
Friggin' Robin Hood over here from Persona 5.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Yeah, it looks like a catchy. Oh dear. Oh.
Well.
Oh.
That'll do it.
Oh. Wait. What?
Ooh! What? Father?
No. Wait, was that?
No, I think that might be.
I think that was Kazuma.
No, I think it's Ryunosuke.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh well, okay. I mean,
I would imagine because it'd be like, what? Wait, what father? Did you just say father?
I didn't see whose mouth moved.
I think it was. Oh.
That face, scary.
Ooh.
The eyes, man.
Kazuma!
We've known.
Yeah, but they weren't sure though.
Yeah, but Susato confirmed it.
My best friend, Kazuma Osogi. After a whole year, finally his memories returned. Your boy's back,
Dad!
Sarah.
Sarah's like, be still, my beating heart.
Damn, that boy got swole.
Swell.
Well, I mean, he was training with Lord Van Zeeks. Would you expect anything less?
Well,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
When he's got Van Zeeks spotting for him,
As he stood there before me.
I suddenly felt quite aroused.
I mean, so he should.
Oh no, the come to bed eyes.
Smolder!
Oh,
I need to take a cold shower.
a minute!
Give me a moment,
oh
boys.
my goodness. And Ryunosuke is like, I don't know what to do here. Like, I was not prepared for that look.
Oh my god.
Sarah's had some neuronal activation, is what it sounds like.
I mean, honestly,
It's that, and I'm kind of emotional as well. My boy is back.
but I feel like with that previous look and Ryunosuke's look right now, I mean, in the typical trope fashion, isn't it like Kazuma needs to now take Ryunosuke in his arms and lean to like less than an inch from his face?
No, his hands aren't big enough for
No,
this.
Of course.
he needs to push him up against the bench.
Oh, against the wall.
Yeah,
Right,
lift his
him
leg up.
That's it.
And like put his finger on his chin
Under
and be
his
like,
chin.
Guys, this is a very
Ryunosuke.
meaningful and touching moment, and we're ruining it.
I'm sorry.
Oh no.
Just composing my fan fiction right here.
Sorry. That's it. I'm sure there'll be plenty.
Yes!
Right.
Ryunosuke?
Oh.
Hello again,
Oh my god, I think I'm gonna cry.
Emotional.
my friend.
Kazuma-sama!
Susanoo just like throws Ryunosuke into the ground. He's like, boom!
Well, he's like, oh, I don't need to worry about you anymore. My old mentor's still
Get
alive.
away!
Oh no! Now they've got the love triangle going on there.
Oh
now.
god. Judicial
But which direction is it going?
Well, it looks like not very far at the minute because I mean, yeah, like, judicial assistant Mikotoba. Sorry, what? Oh, it's you. Ugh. Are
And
you
of
here to
course-
take my bags again?
But my one true love, Sticky.
Oh my
Come-
god.
You can't have him. He's mine.
That's the actual relationship.
Yeah.
Come on, let's stop ruining it. Let's stop ruining it.
Judicial assistant Mikotoba. It's been a very long road. Thank you. Thank you for guiding my friend here when I could not. It was an honor. I'm actually crying.
Oh, he's coming in for the kiss.
I knew you wouldn't die that easily, Kazuma.
It would have been embarrassing if you'd really had tripped over a kitten and broken your neck on a bedpost.
About that.
Pete says, let's stop ruining the situation. Also, Pete.
I'm sorry.
Stop it! I'm crying
It
over
was
here!
so bad though. The way that he died was
Shut
just
it,
like,
you
what?
dead!
Okay. That is the lesson.
I owe you thanks too. For taking good care of that in my absence.
Oh, Sticky!
Sticky.
The sword, of course.
Karuma, the great blade of the Asogi clan, passed down through the generations.
Taylor, I'm surprised you didn't take the opportunity to go, Sticky, the great blade of the Ahsoka. Stabby.
When we left Japan, this sword was at my friend's side. A Japanese man's katana is his soul, and he couldn't be parted from it. But then, when the incident happened, it was Susato-san's wish that I inherit the sword. And I've kept it with me ever since, along with my memories of the friendship we shared. With this by my side, I always felt that you were watching over me somehow.
chop his head off.
I was thinking, this is a touching reunion, but have you finished with my apprentice now? I need him back.
I've made it at last, father.
Are you saying... Surely not. You mean you knew all this time? I'm looking at it, but I still can't believe it. This mass murderer is Kazuma's father.
Well.
Maybe he will.
Oh boy, I sure do not hope. I hope nothing happens to my precious waxwork that I have left there in the courtroom.
Oh.
It would be very embarrassing if
Oh.
Oh, wow.
he's trunked him.
Like, bye, Freezer.
Ouchie.
What? I ain't done anything.
Kazuma-sama.
Madame Two Spells will be very upset.
Ryunosuke.
You're next.
Whoa! We have much to talk about. But now is not the time.
Are you quite sure? Because the last time we had this conversation, there was about a year before we were able to talk again.
Yeah. I'll be seeing you.
Damn.
Well,
That was a lot to process.
It's like, wow.
Jeez.
without so much as a by your leave, then. Right. Oh, okay. That's all Kazuma said.
I am still here, you know. Is Zeeks just totally gone? He just wandered off.
Yeah.
Before he turned and left us there in the courtroom.
Maybe he did. Oh no.
Oh, no,
no.
it's
Okay.
still there.
Right, anyway, now that you've all finished gallivanting about. So, he's the living after-image of the man who took my brother's life, is he?
Yes, the Kazuma Asogi, my best friend.
3 months ago, when Lord Strongheart introduced us, I had an inkling there was something there. Some connection.
But why did Lord Strongheart do that?
To torture him, I
Because he
guess.
has his own agenda.
Why did he make Kazuma Lord of Zeeks' apprentice? And when he was suffering amnesia, too.
The man was apprehended, even executed. But his legacy just won't die. That's the sad truth. Anyway, that's all I had to say. I thank you for meeting with me as I asked. I bid you
Oh,
adieu.
I suppose I'll need to find a new apprentice now.
Oh, just phased out of existence.
Well, he is a vampire.
But he's gone to the back rooms.
10 years ago, my grandmother took me to the railway station. We were there to meet my father from the train. For me, it was the first time I'd ever seen him.
Poor Susato-san. All this is tied up with painful memories for her, too. She's never talked about this with me before, though.
It took time to adjust to having father around, but just when I was starting to get used to it, he called me into his study one day. He told me that a great friend of his had passed away in London, and that the friend had left behind a son, a boy, 7 years my senior. Father told me the boy had made a promise to his late father, so he was studying to become a defense lawyer. I wanted to help, so I studied to become a qualified judicial assistant. As I'm sure you've worked out, that young man's name was Kazuma Asogi. So you see, that's how he and I met.
For a brief moment, my great friend had returned. only to disappear again all too soon. In retrospect, we probably should have gone after him, considering that he just recovered from severe head trauma and is in a place that he doesn't know anything about with no memories. But anyway, in that fleeting encounter, something stirred. Something that had been dormant for a long time.
Lust.
Whoa.
As if great wheels had been set in motion. I could almost hear them creaking into life. In some ways, it was the end of a chapter. But in many...
Sorry,
Literally.
because presumably we're actually finishing this chapter, literally, so... Sorry, it
It was the
just...
start of a new one.
It's just a bit on the nose, that was all. The game's gonna be like...
Chapter end.
The game's gonna be like, no, actually, there's gonna be a bit more now for no reason.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Do you think that Kazuma's father wasn't the professor and he was set up?
I don't know.
Why do you say that?
Well, if Kazuma knew that his father was going around murdering people, surely... Why would he want to be a defense lawyer?
Well, he presumably wouldn't know that his father was doing that.
Or
Well, he must
he
do.
did. Like, maybe Professor Makotoba let him know at some point. Like, it's when you're old enough, I'll tell you the truth about it or something like that.
I don't know. Maybe we'll learn about it shortly, like when we advance the text.
I guess.
Will we have a cutscene, I wonder? How many we got left? Ooh, 2 chapters left. Twisted Karma and his last bow.
I'm surprised we have 2 chapters left.
Yeah, that felt pretty final, didn't it? But
Yeah.
anyway, let's see. What cutscene do we have? Suspicious.
Wait, Karma!
Pipe in hand, Sholmes looked down at the thick, rolling fog outside our window. I wonder exactly how many mysteries are out there hidden within this bed of fog, he said. Not sounding like that at all in real life. Indeed, a most bizarre incident born of a curious advertisement. A hellhound's mad gallop through the shadows of a serial murder, an executed man's graveyard resurrection in the dead of night. And a commonplace killing in a small, forgotten room at the edge of town. There is, naturally, always another side to every case of which most remain ignorant. And it is that other side which compels me to the scene of the crime, Wilson. So quickly now, take your hat and let's be on our way, my dear fellow.
Not you. You can stay here.
For our adventure is not over yet. Come, the game is afoot.
He said the thing.
He did. He said the thing.
Just needs to throw
I
in
was gonna say,
elementary, my dear.
As Sholmes looked out into the rolling fog, he said, well, this is actually a comfortably nice day in London. 8 days after that earth-shattering trial and Kazuma regaining his memory, we were in the foyer of one of London's most luxurious hotels, the Great Waterloo Hotel.
Ooh, very fancy.
Posh. Very posh.
Very posh.
Very poosh.
The 1st of November, 10:24 a.m. Great Waterloo Hotel foyer. I know it's foyer.
Professor Makotoba is due to arrive any moment.
Oh.
Yes! I'm so glad we got here in time.
Susato-san hasn't been the same since what happened.
I mean, understandably.
Well, yeah.
Not that I'm surprised.
The truth about what Kazuma-sama's father... Do you suppose my father knew?
No, of course he didn't. If he did, he would have told you. Surely. I mean, he wouldn't have just kept that secret from you for all these years. That he was actually the mass murderer, the professor, you mean, as I say, the state secret.
He just casually blurts out, just to remind you, your friend.
Everyone!
Just say, by the way, my assistant here, her friend's father was a mass murderer. Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, he was Japanese as well, so if you
Yeah.
have any misgivings about our race, there you go.
Feel free to abuse us as you see fit.
I knew that's what she was thinking about. There's a good chance, I'd say. I mean, they did come here to London together 16 years ago, didn't they?
Yes, that's true.
Come to think of it, didn't you say that Professor Mikotoba knew about Kazuma going missing in Hong Kong as well?
That's right. But for some reason, he wasn't at liberty to talk to me about it.
Oh, it's like it's connected.
That probably means he knows, then. About Kazuma showing up here in London with amnesia, and that he's regained his memory now.
Now, is this going to be him doing?
Oh, there she is!
Like that's me. Wait, how dare you? That's my voice. I don't know if it's going to be him though. Like, oh, there she is.
Whoa!
Oh, wow.
Oh,
And the judge.
Whoa! Wow!
Wow.
The judge continues to be an absolute unit, even in more form-fitting attire. Holy hell!
He's just like,
I like the buttons on his jacket. Do you notice something?
Right? Yeah, it's six attorney pins.
Yeah.
It's like, yes,
yes.
I have defeated every attorney in combat, and I have claimed their pins for my own.
I must now defeat the final four.
I was gonna say, yeah, he's beat the Elite Four, and he's got
Elite
like,
Four,
that's
sorry.
it.
Oh,
Hello, Sato. Oh, sorry.
sorry, yeah, go. No, it's all right, go on.
Hello, Mr. Sato. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. We're delighted you've arrived safe and sound.
We've actually been waiting here for about 20 minutes. You've been talking about state secrets over there, and we just didn't want to interrupt.
Hello, Mr. Naruhodo. Very kind of you to take the trouble to meet us here.
I'm not used to seeing them in suits. It's
No,
very strange.
outside of Japanese attire,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I was wondering if maybe the judge was more portly, but no, he is not. No, he is. Nope. Oh, no, not at all. It's my pleasure.
Kind of like that Makotoba's got like an air of like Watson about him.
Yes.
We know who this is. This is not a question. We've heard all about your extraordinary exploits here in London, you know. The news has crossed the seas. It has. I always look forward to reading the monthly reports that arrive with the steamships from Britain. Oh, I see. Thank you very much. Who is this man? And why do I feel as though I've seen him before?
I wondered if he didn't remember.
I take it from your expression that you can't quite place me.
Although you're...
He's got the attorney badges on his cufflinks
Oh,
as well.
God,
He's
yeah.
like,
I've slaughtered all of them. In that case...
you don't get to the top of the Japanese Supreme Court without claiming a few lives in the process.
Oh no, he's gonna. Oh no.
How about a little reminder, Seishiro?
Oh,
A firm
no.
tap should do it.
Oh no, he's gonna get taken down by the unit. I can't remember what he called it.
A firm tap? What?
Is it Jigoku something?
Oh.
Here we go then.
Jigoku takedown? Oh!
Oh! I hereby pronounce the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, guilty! Oh!
Oh no! I didn't recognize
Again,
you
he's
without
not
your
sitting
clothes
down.
on.
That table is actually 10 feet tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just standing. The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Your
It's also weird to see him smiling, honestly.
Yeah, he's got quite a kind
Your
face.
Excellency!
Kind face.
He has. Look at these.
Oh, and then his ascot is also an attorney badge.
Of course.
Oh,
Hello, Judge Jugoku. How are you? It's been a long time.
Good, you've remembered now. That really did the trick.
Oh.
Guilty!
I don't get to do that as often as I'd like.
Only I was declared not guilty, wasn't I? And there was no laughing at the time.
Oh, do lighten up, Mr. Naruhodo. So, London again after all this time. Hard to believe it's been 10 years. To be honest, I never thought I'd be back.
Neither did I. I didn't imagine Japan would ever be invited to an international symposium like this. No, really. I doubt anyone did, to be honest. It's all thanks to you, isn't it, Seishiro?
What are you talking about, Eugen?
Of course, Judge Jigoku. He must complete the set. He's the other man who, 16 years ago, came to London with Kazuma's father and Professor Mikotomo. He's the third visiting scholar.
Well, all those passport checks and luggage searches at the border took rather a lot of time. I must say, I'm very envious of your ministerial status. You didn't have to go through any of that, did you?
No. They wanted to, but then they took one look at me and then they were terrified, and then they all suddenly backed away. I knew you were jealous.
You bet.
Oh.
Sorry, ministerial status.
Yes, didn't you know? Seishiro here is also Japan's Minister of Foreign Affairs. It was his personal insistence that allowed you to take Kazuma's place here on this study tour.
Guilty as charged!
He does love that, doesn't he?
Well, I haven't got to make my serious face on all the way over here, so you know. I should have more frown lines, but this is actually my neutral, normal expression. I just wear the scowl all the time in court.
I do moisturize very vigorously. Every day I have quite the skincare routine.
Well, thank you very much. He's really every bit as important as he looks.
Although he doesn't look so important when he's waving his gavel around. Giggling.
You mean Mjolnir?
Yes, now, Naruhodo. I received a telegram from Lord Strongheart yesterday.
Says you've been a very naughty boy.
Naughty.
You did?
It appears that some things came to light in a trial you were involved with 8 days ago. About what happened 10 years ago. That tragedy.
Yes. Could you tell us any more about it?
Although, could
No.
you specifically tell us more after ending the conversation and then going into a dialogue tree, please? Oh,
It's like we've played these games before.
It's like I knew.
So, how was the voyage here?
I wasn't expecting literally the next click, though, to be. I was expecting them to be like,
Yeah, okay, I suppose so. Well, 50 days at sea is a long time by anyone's standards.
Try going in a cupboard.
But it wasn't as bad when we first came here 16 years ago.
But none of that compares to what Ryunosuke had to go through. No, that's true. Then I truly wondered if we wouldn't be drifting in the vast ocean for the rest of our lives. This time we followed the same route as you, so we were able to relax and enjoy the experience.
Yeah, 50 days at sea, so that's like a month and 3/4.
there's no.
That is
well,
a pretty long time.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you stopped in France's beautiful capital, Paris?
We did, yes. Though only for one night. And yesterday evening we left the port of Dunkirk for Dover.
Just in time for the symposium, in fact. It starts tomorrow.
Not going to be related at all.
It's wonderful that you were invited to attend such an important international event.
Yes, there's no
Yes,
plot
I do hope
relevance
that there's not any
whatsoever.
kind of murder.
I'm very proud of you, Father.
It would be very awkward if there were some kind of murder of a very important personage at this international event, which would then require Ryunosuke to defend it, which, would be particularly awkward if one of the two people that happened to be reintroduced after this period of time was then suddenly killed off.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
It's thanks to Seishiro here. That's the judge. It's thanks to Seishiro here. 16 years ago, he managed to integrate himself with Britain's Attorney General.
Ingratiate himself.
Ingratiate? Oopsie daisy. I guess I read that a little too quickly. Yes. Sorry. Ingratiate. I'm sure that's why he was invited. And I suppose you could say I'm something of an appendage by default.
Speak for yourself, Eugen. You were close friends with the professor of forensic science at a major hospital.
And he's dead now, so that's that tie severed.
Yes, well, I'd rather not dredge all that up, really.
Did someone mention Daddy? No. No, there's been a lot of wonder? A lot of water under the bridge since then, but it doesn't bring him back.
It's contagious, Taylor. Watch out.
Kazuma's father, I suppose.
Oh.
So about that murderer. The professor, the killer who took the lives of 5 members of the British aristocracy, was actually Kazuma's father, wasn't he? That's correct. Genshin Impact. I mean Asogi.
I saw Genshin, I was like, oh no.
Oh no.
Genshin?
You knew, I presume, Father?
Yes. He was a close friend at the time.
Genshin came to Britain as a police detective. He was studying investigative techniques at Scottish Yard. I've never understood what drove the man to commit such heinous acts.
It was a closed trial, so the public never knew the truth, and he was executed with little ado. To this day, very few people know.
Why can't I speak today?
Oh dear.
To this day, very few people know what really happened, even in our homeland.
But what about Kazuma? Did he know? Did he know the truth about his father? No, of course not. He was told his father passed from sickness. We just didn't say it was sickness in the head.
However, I suspect he may have had his doubts.
Oh, why?
Because he's a smart lad, you fool. As you know, I tried to guide Kazuma growing up as if he were my own son. Then one day, he came to my office at the university and said,
I believe my father's a murderer, and that was when I suspected.
I've decided. I want to travel to Great Britain and study there.
Do you think he wanted to come here to investigate his father's death?
I don't know. But when I looked into his eyes, I did know that there was no way I'd be able to stop him.
Something else came to light in that trial the other day, actually.
No? What?
Well, having disappeared in Hong Kong and been missing for almost a year, Kazuma's since turned up here in London, working as the apprentice of Lord Van Zeeks.
What? What?
What? That's news to us!
Uh-oh.
Eugen. Oh, we're in deep trouble, Eugen.
Yeah,
Ooh,
we've got some explaining to do.
So, Lord Strongheart's telegram neglected to mention that part then.
Sinister music.
As you know, we both thought Kazuma had died. Yeah, it's spread and you've infected me, Pete. You've infected me with the brain worms.
We both thought the Kazuma
Had died on the steamship during our voyage to Great Britain in January.
But he didn't die. He's alive. As you knew, didn't you, Father?
In actual fact, no. What I did know is that when your ship docked in Hong Kong, he mysteriously vanished.
We sent a team of investigators to Hong Kong to try to ascertain what had happened, but to no avail.
But he's still alive. And here in London, you say? I never dared even to dream it.
Why on earth did the young man not make contact? The government and the police have been chasing clues fruitlessly for months now. They've had to recruit the help of some guy with a top hat.
Sorry. Well, it seems that he was suffering from amnesia.
What? Amnesia?
That sounds very unlikely.
Excuse me.
It's like strange
When we first came across him, I was trying to drink water, and then I accidentally spilled some on myself, if you must know.
Oh dear.
Well, I mean, Taylor, you know when you drink water, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to, like, tip the liquid into your mouth, not down your front.
Thank you, Dr. Pete.
You're welcome.
When we first came across him again here in London, he didn't know who either of us were.
I see.
He only regained his memory 8 days ago. This is unbelievable.
Yes, it's quite miraculous. I wonder why Lord Strongheart didn't let us know.
Yes, one does wonder.
Because he's sus.
I must speak with him urgently.
Yes, well, go ahead and go alone, Eugen. I'm sure you'll be fine.
You can handle yourself, can't you? Yes, it's totally fine.
I wonder how Kazuma's been these past few days. Would it be wrong of us to go and visit him?
No!
Just say hello.
Why would you think that? Go and talk to your friend. But first, we must talk to your friend's father. Wait, that's not your friend's father. What am I talking about? You must talk to Susato's father. More.
That began 16 years ago now. It's a distant memory, really. It was Eugen here, Ryunosuke, and myself. We were the original three. The first judicial scholars from Japan to travel overseas to study.
Ocean voyages were not what they are today, I can tell you.
Yes, we pretty much had a bathtub with a bedsheet attached to it. It wasn't pretty.
16 years ago, things were tough for that generation.
Your father was an exceptionally fine medical student at Whay University at the time, you know, young lady.
Yes, grandmother told me.
He went to do research at a great London hospital to study autopsy. Practically unheard of in Japan.
Yes, it was an eerie place, sandwiched between the back of a prison and a burial ground.
Oh.
Not more talk of graves.
Was it the same one?
Yeah, I
perhaps?
mean, maybe.
I do recall that there was this young woman there. I believe her name was Courtney, and she was quite a smoke show back then. I was
Smoke
fixing to
show?
give you a sister. I was fixing to give you a sister, Susato, but unfortunately, it didn't work out.
Jesus.
Very often, there's no one willing to deal with bodies following autopsy work.
So you see, autopsy labs have something of an unavoidable relationship with graveyards and prisons.
Not my cup of tea at all.
Do you remember that Scottish prison governor? Caden, his name was. He was a good man.
Yes, but then of course, in our 6th year here, everything changed with that dreadful case.
Should we annoy everybody and make him not have a Scottish accent? Caden. I suppose I should do Caden. So we've got like then two, or you could, I suppose, Sarah, if you want.
Oh, no,
and then that
I'm
way,
fine.
2 of us have got a Scottish.
That depends
character.
if he's gonna show up, though. I suppose.
I'm sure he will.
If he's not like dead.
They
or
don't.
something.
You don't just mention a character and then not feature that character at all.
No, they might do. All right.
But then of course, in our 6th year here, everything changed with that dreadful case. When Genshin was arrested for a series of the most gruesome murders. And something about loot boxes, I think.
He was banned in several countries. I simply couldn't believe it. I'd known the man for years.
All right, so Pete and Sarah, if either of you are a mass murderer, you legally have to tell me so that I don't so that I don't get surprised later on.
What?
I mean, we've had 2 encounters and we haven't murdered you, Taylor, so...
No, not me. I just mean in general.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, right, okay.
No, I'm not gonna become a mass murderer.
I'll be sure to let you... The second that it happens, I'll be sure to let you know.
Yeah, the second you
Okay,
don't
well, as
hear...
long as there's only one mass murderer, we're good.
Yeah.
I was a witness at the secret hearing, and I tried to speak in his defense, but
I'm gonna say, yeah, if you don't hear from me, then something might have happened.
Oh, no.
But you went a
Wait,
little...
what?
Yeah. I think she's trying to imply that I'll have killed her, which
No. I'm just reading the conversation. And I'm like, wait, what?
Oh.
Okay,
Never mind.
let's just pretend that killing joke thing wasn't just didn't happen. Can we please?
But you went a little too far and ended up facing charges yourself, didn't you?
well, suffice it to say that after that trial, we were sent back to Japan.
Whoopsie daisy. There was nothing more we could do to save Genshin. He was a lost cause, sadly. I was thinking about making a joke and then changed my mind.
You were thinking about making a joke, and then you saw sad Susato, and then you just stopped.
Well, if you'll excuse us now.
Yes, now that you've selected 4 dialogue options, I'd like to get this trunk up to my room as soon as possible.
He just picks it up with one hand and balances it.
He hooks it under his index finger.
Bleh.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have held you up here for so long.
I'll call for the porter then. Just wait here.
And she scootles off.
Oh.
Susato-san's gone off at a run.
I'd like to stay and talk more, but I do have various preparations to make for tomorrow. So, hopefully this wouldn't be our last conversation.
Oh, don't. Something bad's gonna happen.
Don't worry, though. This surely won't be the last time we speak again.
I just said that. He just said that.
Yes, of course. It must be a big responsibility representing our entire country. I wish you the best of luck.
And try not to die, please.
Why would you say that? I'm not going to die. Everything's fine. Naruhodo. I hope you'll keep an eye on Susato for me.
Oh, he's dead.
Keep,
He's gonna die.
keep looking after her, as you obviously have been. And don't pork her without my
Whoa! 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 Whoa!
And you make sure you bring her home
Is it? Wait,
before...
Ryunosuke's what, like 23, right?
Yeah, but they're gonna get older. She's gonna get a bit old. For God's sake.
Oh, for so many gavels!
God's sake, Taylor.
Anyway.
Oh, no. I mean, if anyone's looking after anyone, it's her looking after me. Ha ha!
I'm an irresponsible adult.
Well, I do appreciate you being there for her. After all, I am a neglected father.
No.
I've been a miserable father. to her.
Yeah, no, we know that. I wasn't kidding. Like, I was joking, but it's because it's what we've learned.
I have been a miserable father to her. I've thoroughly let her down.
Sorry?
What do you mean, aside from abandoning her when she was a baby, and then again, and again, and a third time?
Stop talking now. Well, it was 16 years ago that I started my long study tour. Started my long... I don't know what... I thought there was like a bit more... Like, well, it was 16 years ago that I started my long study tour here in Britain, as you know. The very year Susato was born. Hence the accent.
Yes, I heard.
The birth of my daughter was the most joyous event of my life, but sadly I couldn't be there because I was very busy with some card game in a dingy pub. But, well, sadly, it was accompanied by the most tragic event of my life, too.
Oh, yes. Susato-san hinted at something like that.
It was a rather turbulent time at home.
Anyway, I won't bore you with the details. The point is, I became rather less dependable than befits a grown man. And it was then that Seishiro offered me the opportunity to study here in Great Britain.
I was too worried about you to leave you behind. So perhaps I was a little heavy-handed when it came to persuading you to accompany me to London.
So, that's what happened in a nutshell.
I feel like we didn't really learn anything more
No.
than when we started.
And that's also the reason why I now feel compelled to give my daughter as many opportunities as I dare, which does seem to paint the picture that I might be about to die.
Yeah, I mean, the cutscene had a foreshadowing of like a murder in a strange room across town.
I mean, yeah, it's very simpering all of a sudden, isn't it? It's the whole, yes, I'm here and I'm going to make amends. Everything's going to be fine. I'm going to be good now. Everything's great.
Oh, this is gonna be.
I'm going to hope to
horrible.
continue to give Susato opportunities as I grow long into old age.
Yes.
Oh, the world does not readily afford young women such things, I must say.
I completely understand, Professor.
Ah, one other thing, Naruhodo. If I may be so bold, I have a favor to ask you.
Oh, really? Of course. What can I do for you?
Well, the thing is,
I'm so sorry that took so long.
Oh, that guy.
Oh.
He's one of the jurors, isn't he?
Oh yes, it is.
Yes.
Yes.
He's the, oh,
He was the omnibus owner, wasn't he?
was
Oh,
it?
no.
No, because
I think he was, actually.
was he the driver?
He was the driver.
No,
no.
Bippo, Beepus was the driver, and then he
Beppo.
yelled at him.
Oh, this
'cause
was the
he-
guy. What are you talking about, Beppo?
Yeah.
That's the one. There we go.
Well,
There we go. Right.
It looks like him anyway.
Yeah, there we go. Now I've got the voice back.
And
Thank you.
He's kind of got like the horseshoe moustache and like
Yes.
the belt looks like a horseshoe as well. So
Oh, yes. I own the horses, see, that's all.
I'm sorry that took so long.
Miss Susato, you were just interrupting your father as he was about to ask me a very plot-relevant favor, which I'm sure won't come back to haunt us later.
no.
Now then, allow us to take your bags.
Yeah, give them here. Allow me to take your bags. One moment, if you please, Porter. Right, wrong voice. One moment, if you please, Porter. Of course, sir.
He's got the hip flask as well.
That machine around your neck. It's a camera, I believe. Quite right, sir. Just 5 shillings for a lovely photograph to commemorate a wonderful stay at the hotel, sir. Well, oh, for God's sake, he's so gonna die.
It's yeah.
Oh, yeah,
this is-
someone's dead.
There's some
One of
foreshadowing
them's dead
here.
or both of them are dead.
There is just, it's like this. Oh my goodness. If he doesn't die, I will be extremely surprised.
Well, I think, given the occasion, we could justify the expense. Oh, yes, of course.
Aw.
Yeah, and yeah.
Oh, I don't like this.
No, I know.
I'd like to thank you for coming with me, Mr. Naruhodo. It's really made Father very happy, I think.
Oh, well, I'm pleased then. But we were interrupted before, which I'm sure isn't going to come back. Professor Makotomo was about to ask me something.
Shall we return to Baker Street then?
Yeah. He's like, but yeah. Yeah.
I expect Iris will have some delicious tea waiting for us.
Yeah, but go
But,
on ahead,
Mr. Nato,
Mr.
can we not wait for 2 minits while I address this very clearly important favor
what?
your father's about to ask me?
Why don't you just wait by the door? Yeah.
Yes, let's go.
Could you write
Says Ryunosuke, picking up the idiot ball with both hands.
No, he's just there like Colby.
Miss Naruhodo, I'm not sure what that hand gesture you're making is.
I'm getting more and more anxious about Kazuma, though.
And I'm not worried at
Perhaps
all
I'll try-
about the current setup.
Perhaps I'll try to meet with Lord Strongheart later and ask after him. And then we'll just see Lord Strongheart stuffing Eugen's body in a closet.
Oh.
Is there a spade, a shovel, or a ladder? There's some stairs, but I don't think they count.
No.
Well, we've only got a couple of minutes, so let's have a look at the hotel. And we'll
Look at those cases just left there on that trolley. They worried about thieves. I know I am.
Haven't you seen the porter over there? Don't worry, he's obviously keeping an eye on everything.
Who's that? Nobody. It's fine. What? No. You better not be stealing these cases.
I'll have you.
I'll have you.
Ah. So it's a trap designed to catch any chancers who might be tempted.
And then we see Gina.
Oi. I hear you're talking about me, aren't you?
Why did the porter give me such a scathing look just now, do you suppose?
Well, some might say you look a little suspicious with your jet black clothes.
Not everyone clad in black is some sort of ninja with intent to steal, you know.
Maybe you should try wearing brighter colors, Mr. Harold.
Have you seen all those sparkling jewels up there? They must have gathered every gem in the world for that.
just for this one hotel. Oh.
It's called a chandelier, I believe.
A chandler.
It's designed to provide elegant lighting in large, spacious rooms like this.
Ah. So they had to gather every gem in the world just to illuminate one room?
It's probably electric light bulbs that are actually throwing the light.
Ah. If I tried to hang something like that from the ceiling in the office, it would be scraping on the floor.
I think perhaps chandeliers aren't for you, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oof. Let's see, we've got this guy here.
That desk is known as the hotel reception. Anyone wanting to spend the night has to report there to sign in for their stay.
Oh, so do you think that's the head clerk behind the desk there?
Yes, I'm sure it must be.
I'd love to stay in a grand hotel like this for a little while, wouldn't you? Just to know what it's like.
If the hotel fee was paid through our stipend, I'm afraid it might bankrupt our homeland.
Oh, goodness.
That's an expensive hotel.
True, London gives the word expensive a whole new meaning.
Yes, it
The
does.
more things,
Yep.
the more things change, the more they stay the same. Am I right, gamers?
Yep.
Let's see,
Okay.
what
Anything else to investigate?
I think there's a little more, right? There's... No.
No.
Oh, really? No? Oh, the picture.
no, the picture.
Oh,
okay.
The Eiffel Tower.
Look at that.
No, it's the Crystal Tower.
It looks very much. It's got the
Well,
ball.
I mean, it does say it's a picture of the Crystal Tower, but it does also...
No, I assumed it was the Crystal Tower before I even clicked on it. It's got the balance and everything.
It's shaped like the Eiffel Tower, though.
I don't think the Eiffel Tower has a bulbous tip at the top.
Rude.
Look at that. It's a picture of the Crystal Tower.
Well, the Great Exhibition is one of Britain's most prestigious achievements in recent years.
Yeah, guys, when is the next great exhibition?
I don't know.
Oh.
I wonder how tall it is. It really does represent the pinnacle of scientific achievement in so many ways.
There's a 20-meter-tall chimney on the bathhouse near my lodgings at Whay University. The attendant there is always boasting that it's the tallest object in the neighborhood.
Well, boys do like to boast about their size, don't they?
Oh, God.
I'm sure. Did you know that over the channel in Paris, there's a tower that's 300 meters tall?
Yes.
I think that's the one you were referring to, Pete.
I think you might be right there, Tanya, yes.
What? How many times taller than the chimney at Yumesuke Hot Springs is that?
Soaking hot springs.
Soaking.
Oh,
Very good.
oh, they've done it again.
And if it's that tall, how does it draw properly? The smoke would get stuck, surely.
I don't think it's that sort of tower, Mr. Naruhodo.
And on that note,
On that bombshell, I think we have run out of things to investigate.
We have
and
time.
so we have run out of time. Thank you, dear viewers, listeners, whatever you're doing when you're watching this. I know some people just listen.
Yeah.
And so for those of you, we hope you have enjoyed the show.
Indeed, we do hope so.
Yes.
But if you do enjoy it,
Well,
Yep, okay, that went nowhere. I'm thrown off because you started. If you want to listen to more of our content,
Or
is what I
watch
was
more of
going
our
to say.
content, whatever. You know what to do, guys. Why don't you hit that like button? Leave a comment down below. Hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. That way you get notified of our stuff when it goes up every Wednesday and Saturday. Or if anything happens to go up in between then for whatever reason. Like a stupid post going like, hey guys, yeah. Then you'll get to see that in your notifications. It's all good. And with that, we'll catch you in the next one.
See you later, guys.
Oh, I made her one.
And remember, especially if you find yourself in a mystery game, don't end any conversation on some kind of suspenseful note, because that increases the odds that you're going to get murdered by like 5,000%.